I'm loving doing all these sewing projects, but I am finding that the sewing area that I'm working in could do with a little bit of tweaking. So join me for a mini makeover. Hello, it's Icy. Yes, I've been doing quite a lot of sewing in this area. It's been working mostly very well. It's been fine for the sewing. Where it is kind of not working super as well is for the actual recording. So I want to put a little more into that just to see what I can do. I've already made one change, which is the lighting. So what I've got are some literally desk lamps, just plain old, normal, targetable, like flexible head lamps. And I've got the lights bouncing off the white walls to reflect back. It's giving me a much more even, softer light. And also, hopefully, I'm not going to get that weird circular glare from the circle face light that I've been getting in my glasses, which isn't the best. So we'll see how we go. Basically, I don't have the light. The overhead light is like literally here. So that hasn't been working as well either. So we'll see how we go with the lights bounced off the wall. If that doesn't work, I'll start to look at... I don't want to pay money because I am so cheap. But I could probably look at making some attachments for the lights that I already have to make some like boxed lights or something. So anyway, I'll look at that. But for the moment, I'm happy with how that lighting works. Even if it's a cloudy day outside, which it is now, it's still quite good. Now, the other thing I want to do is I want to fix up the background. So right now I have it's actually a tablecloth hanging from, if I do this, you can see we have a picture rail in this house. So around, I don't know, about this far from the top of the roof, all the way around. So it's actually really easy for me to do things like hang pictures up, which was the original purpose, but also hang fabric and other things. I had a quick look at prices of things like wallpaper and or paint, which is like, so what I've done instead of, I've actually bought some curtain material, which was on special, though still relatively expensive, however a lot cheaper than paint. So I've got this really, really beautiful kind of grey brocade, very, very glamorous with a sheen. That what I'm going to do is make basically a wall hanging that goes across the whole wall at the back, which I think should work really, really nicely. The other thing, if I absolutely need to, I can still use this bit of white stuff here to either drop over if I want a white background instead of the grey, or also there's a pair of French doors there that lead to the rest of the house. So I cover over those as well if necessary. If I need to film in such a place where I need to cover that, that's an option too. So the other thing, I'm going to shuffle around the tables and various things I've got in here as well, just to give myself a little more space. Just move a few bits and pieces, and I think maybe move like a feature chair in. I don't know, I've got to do some testing and see how that goes. There might not be enough room for all of the things I'd like to do, but I do have plans, and we'll see how we go. Well, that took a hot minute, but my beautiful decorative curtains over the wall are done. I actually had visitors for most of the last week, so even though there was so much ironing, you have no idea how long this material took to iron. It really was not conducive to getting a nice sharp crease. The tailor's clapper Mr. Icy made me came in handy, I have to say. That was actually fantastic. So it looks really pretty. I'm really happy. Let me give you a little tour, more of. So, the original white, actually tablecloth, is here underneath. So at a later stage, I'm thinking about possibly making a some like ties that I can actually pull this back on either side for a slightly different look. I have managed to match the pattern down here for the vertical, which is pretty good. This side does pull slightly, not quite vertical for some reason. I think I got careless on the final seams across the top, so that's a bit of a problem. Let me give you a slightly different view. I've got my very fancy red chair that I got from the thrift shop. It's leather, even bonded leather at least. So that's there now. We've got the IKEA light rescued from the side of the road because that's the way I roll. Well, actually, that's the way Mr. Icy rolls, but I'll take advantage of it. We've got the mannequin with the armor right now. And I also have a nice little carpet underneath. The carpet is here. Actually, I bought the carpet to go from IKEA. I bought the carpet from IKEA to basically both mute the noise in this room, as well as giving me something to catch all the sewing bits. But I've actually moved it over this side now, and I think that'll be fine as well. So that's my little mini renovation. Just putting some curtains in a room. I do need to add, for consistency's sake, we've lived in this house for about 13 years. There's some curtains over there I've never finished. So yeah, just for honesty's sake, I do want to point out that there's two actual real curtains over there that I have not finished, but I made these ones instead. There are blinds. It's fine, but I never got around to actually finishing the actual curtains. So maybe that needs to go on the list. But I have to say, I'm not sure there's anything I dislike more than sewing curtains, because it is painful and tedious. It's somewhat zen doing all of the ironing, but at a certain point it's just like, no, this sucks. So we'll see. I still have the material for the curtains that go over there, and I just want to be clear, that material still exists, but I would actually have to do something with it. So anyway, do look for future videos with this background. The plan is this should also work for like a vertical background as well, for like reveals, which I'm looking forward to. I think that will be fun. But if I want, I can actually pull that white material to the front, and then I can have a white reveal background instead if I want. Or I can just honestly take the whole thing down, because it is held up. If I do that with a picture rail. So it's just got literally two hooks and then a great big long curtain rail underneath, and like through, sitting on the hooks, and the curtain is threaded through that, and that's all that's holding it up there, just two hooks. I do have a third one later to go in the center if needed, but right now it seems to be working just fine, so I think we'll go with that. But thank you very much for watching. Thank you for joining me for this little, like, honestly, very, very simple project where I made some curtains, but it still took me a long time. Next time we're back into more actual things that can be worn, or things that cannot anymore, perhaps. But please join me in the next video. Have you subscribed? If not, please do consider it. I would appreciate that. Have you clicked the thumbs up button? I mean, this is a pretty straightforward video. Only do that if you really actually liked it. But you could always check out some of the other ones. Do check the playlist. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for joining me here. And I will talk to you next time. Bye.